Hey, welcome to my channel, Singing with Jules. Today is video 2 of the series Fundamentals of Good Singing, and we're going to talk about strain and tension today. This is one of those lesser known, or maybe it's just a less discussed fundamentals of good singing, but it is so very important to good health and good technique. Strain and tension are the enemy for a happy, full, open sounding voice. After I discuss the concept of tension and some ways to alleviate it, I will show you how to put into practice these concepts and give you examples of how singing with tension might be holding you back from being the best singer you can be. I started working with my voice teacher about 15 years ago. I call her Dumbledore because she's an actual wizard, and she completely transformed my voice and my relationship with singing. When I started working with her, I had two completely different voices. I had a very operatic sounding head voice and a very rich, belty chest voice that went up pretty high, but still they were very different voices. I also had a lot of vocal issues that I was completely unaware of that were really preventing me from becoming the best singer that I can be. Tension was a big one of those for me. It's funny because you can hold tension in so many different places, and I remember working with her one day and she just said, "Can you please relax your forehead?" And I went, "Relax my forehead? Okay." It's amazing because even that small thing changed how I was holding tension in my body. It was in my forehead, but it was sort of radiating into other areas. So tension and how we sort of treat our bodies as singers is so important as we move forward and understand ourselves as singers. Working with someone who understands the voice and who understands the pedagogy associated with the discipline and the principles of vocal technique is so important. I can't stress this enough. I am proof of that from working with Dumbledore, and my students who study with me and do the work, make the progress, they see it, they feel it, and we can hear it. Most people hold tension somewhere in their bodies. It's normal. We're active, moving people with muscles, hang up, fears. I believe fear is one of the most instrumental aspects to harboring tension in the body. One of the things you hear Christina Aguilera say in her online course on how to sing, sidebar, don't take those classes. I love Christina Aguilera. I want to sound like Christina Aguilera. We all do. But the truth of the matter is, when you're learning how to sing, you should be learning how to sing from an actual technician, from a teacher, from someone who has studied the voice and also performed as well. Really finding a teacher who understands the aspect of teaching the voice as well as the aspect of performing and singing is so important. There's a lot of these kinds of sites where you can get teaching lessons from pop stars or singers and things like that, but really getting your lessons from someone who understands the pedagogy is so important. And it's why realistically, I love Christina, but her upper register is starting to go because for years and years and years, she has pushed and pushed and pushed that voice, which is an incredible voice and it's an incredible muscle, but it only will take so much wear and tear, right? We're constantly doing this to it. And realistically, it will eventually give out on us if we don't treat it with the love and care that it really needs to keep working and functioning as best as it can. So we hear it with Whitney, we hear it with Mariah, we hear it with Christina, we hear it with Kelly Clarkson. The list goes on and on of singers who have incredible natural instruments. But if you don't keep the technique going, if you don't understand the how and the technique to make your voice as healthy as it can be, it's eventually going to go bye. I know what you're thinking. There's a lot of singers out there that have naturally amazing voices, and many untrained people make careers of singing. I've worked with them, you've heard them. Actually, most of the time, these people end up learning technique by practice and by proxy. they trial and error, and through quite a lot of experience and over a long period of time, they understand how to sing in a way that is healthy to their voice. This is not always the case, and really even professionals should continue to train and exercise their voice. There should never come a time where you're like, I know everything. I know everything. I know everything. What? I know everything. I can keep going. I know everything. I know everything. I know everything. Okay, that should be enough. Not understanding how to keep a voice healthy is just like being an amazing natural athlete, but not stretching or training in between events like the Olympics. You can probably get away with it for a while when you're young, as the body is very resilient, but it will inevitably catch up with you. Back to my point. One of the things I remember hearing Miss Aguilera say on her online class was, just go for it. I also know this is something told to a lot of performers. They've been told somewhere along the way in their vocal training to just go for it when it comes to their singing. Now, I both agree and totally disagree with this. What the person saying this actually means is be fearless. And that is a directive that I believe has value. But if you don't know how to go for it without creating vocal tension, what you will have is problem. You may feel like you're being fearless, but without understanding how to approach your singing technically, you will end up straining your voice and pushing up through your registers as you sing higher, or trying to make your voice sound stronger. And doing this, you will end up with a pinched sound. Pinched! Your voice will crack. Your range will lessen. You will sound like you are yelling. You're yelling. Fatigue. It can feel like you're being strangled. Or you can just have a lot of vocal pain or discomfort, and loads of other issues from this can arise too. So, here are some examples of what singing with tension and straining sounds like.
In this example, I'm going to be singing an excerpt of Amazing Grace to show you what singing with strain and tension sounds like. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. And now singing that same excerpt, but releasing the strain and tension and allowing my voice to be free. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. In this example, I'm going to be singing up an octave through my registers, and I'm going to be showing how going up while keeping tension creates a very strained, pinched sound. And now I'm going to go up through this octave range, through my registers, showing you how free and open and rich sounding my voice is when I release that tension and really engage with my breath. So, how can we ensure that we aren't straining when we are singing? Always engage with the breath. Like we talked about in the first video, breathing from the belly and engaging those diaphragmatic muscles activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which in turn deactivates your body's tendency to be stressed and strained. Yeah, it's all connected. Find a nice, neutral alignment when you are singing, standing up nice and straight, feeling your feet and your lower body, and finding a grounding that acts as the scaffolding for your upper body. I like to imagine an invisible string coming through from the center of my head, coming up to the ceiling, that keeps me hanging almost like a puppet, not floppy, but nice and relaxed. Your chest, your shoulders, your neck, and your jaw should not be held, pulled up, or tense. Your breath in your lower body will help with that. Feeling the 2 points at the base of your skull and moving your head gently from side to side as a reminder that you shouldn't be holding tension there will really help alleviate tension in both the neck and the shoulders. And it's an easy, gentle reminder to do while you're singing. Reminding ourselves that we are never pushing or straining when we sing. There are ways to manipulate our mouths and change how and where we resonate, which we will talk about in future videos, but we're never pushing with our voices, especially as we come up through our registers and try to sing higher notes or as we try to create bigger, fuller sounds. Just remember, we are never pushing and never straining when we're singing.
So let's review. Tension can lead to issues like fatigue, pain, cracks in the voice, and more. Finding ways to exercise the voice and practice singing without creating tension and actively being aware of our bodies is so important. I will have more exercises in future videos discussing ways to release tension, so please click subscribe so you don't miss that. Feel free to like this video and let me know if you have any ways that you relieve tension down below in the comment section. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful as you work towards finding your voice. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon. Bye.